evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. It is day number 42 inside of our 30K in 90 days challenge. And today, in this lesson, we are going to do a little assessment to see if you are actually ready to start making $10,000 a month. Okay. This is going to be an assessment lesson. All right. Before we get into it, I do want to do my little intro just in case you are tuning in for the very first time. My name is Tracy Walker. I am a baseball mom. I am also a documented seven-figure digital marketer, and I have used my digital marketing skills to make millions of dollars in the network marketing industry, become a top producer, top earner, in pretty much any affiliate marketing program I've chosen to market and promote. And last but not least, I have literally used my digital marketing skills to create my own products and services. Okay, so I've created my own courses, my own trainings, my own workbooks and ebooks, and all the different types of downloads and infographics and coaching programs and all that good stuff, right? I've sold all my own stuff. In fact, I had my very first $10,000 day back in 2010. All right. I jumped on the internet to start learning this skill in 2008. And first product in 2010, it was called Be Blog Savvy. All right. And ever since then, I have been in love with this skill set. And I am here in this 90-day challenge to share skill sets, to share strategies, to share mindset, to share insight and actions and parameters, right, by which you should think about as you are building a digital marketing business. All right. And so, what I want to do today is I really want to talk to you about whether you're ready to make $10,000 a month or more or not. Okay. I know in home based business, it's usually a big thing. Okay. Where people are like, hey, if I can just get to $10,000 a month, I would be so happy. It would be so great. And it would be the gravy train. Right. But I don't even know if you're really ready to make that type of money, not on your own. Okay. Maybe you are. And so the only way that we can really get this whole show on the road is um, to really just do a little assessment. Okay. And so I'm going to need to go through three questions with you. Okay. Three areas that we want to talk about. And I want you to think about, and I want you to actually um, do. Okay. I want you to do these things so that we can assess if you're ready, because you can say that you want to do something all you want. Okay. You could say that you want to uh, beat Simone Biles in gymnastics. You could say it, but are you ready to? So it's a totally different thing, right? You could say that you're ready to do a deep sea dive, but are you ready? You could say that you want children, but are you ready? I don't think we're ever really ready to have children. I didn't have a child at an early age. I had my son in my 30s, and I'm like, was I even ready then? Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. So we've got three areas that we want to assess. All right. Area number one, I want you to ask yourself this question. I want you to answer this question. Number one, are your daily actions getting you closer or further away to $10,000 a month? Are your daily actions getting you closer or further away? So now that would inherently mean that you need to take a look at what you are doing daily, right? You can't pretend and what you're going to do. Let's look at the past 42 days, past 41 days, okay, since we've been doing this challenge. Have your actions gotten you closer or further away to $10,000 in a month? And I don't know, but it's a real question that you are going to have to answer honestly, truthfully, with transparency and vulnerability with yourself. Because at the end of the day, you could try to fool me, you can try to fool your mama, you can try to fool everybody else. But I'm gonna tell you who you're not gonna fool. You're not gonna fool the most high, and you ain't gonna fool you. Okay. And those are the only two entities that really even matter at the end of the day. All right. So I want you to really um consider that, ponder on that, and ask yourself and be honest with yourself so that if you're not doing the right things, then you can have the integrity to start doing the right things. Okay. If you lie to yourself, then you're going to be in the same boat. Okay. Because first you have to acknowledge there's a problem. Okay. Before we can fix it. So that would be part of the assessment, the first part of the assessment. Okay. If whether or not you are ready to start making $10,000 a month in your own digital marketing business. Okay. Now let's move on to number two. Number two is, who do you need to become to attract $10,000 or more in income to you each month? Who do you need to become? Because the saying is you have to be, then do, then you get to have. It's not have and then you suddenly become. So you don't get to make $1 million and they be like, okay, now I'm ready to be a millionaire. Now I'm going to think like a millionaire thinks. Now I'm going to do things a millionaire does. Now I'm going to behave the way a millionaire behaves. The reality is that that's not the formula. Okay. And that's why most people are unable to get the nice apple pie they want out the oven, because you got the right ingredients, but your recipe is wrong. Your recipe is wrong. You have to be first. In other words, in your mind, you have to think like the millionaire. You have to act right. You have to be, and then you have to do. Okay, as if you have to be and do as if you were already the millionaire, and then you get to have. So if you're fighting trying to have something while being a thousandaire, then you're going to continue to be a thousandaire. But if you be in your mind, do in your actions what a millionaire would do, well, then you can have what a millionaire has. Okay. So I want you to really think about this and write this down. Who do you need to become? Okay. Do you need to become a person that is a lot more intentional? Do you need to be the person that pays attention to detail? Do you need to be the person that listens more? Do you need to be the person that actually sits down and takes their business seriously? Do you need to be the person that does not allow people who are not serious to even waste their time? Right? Who do you need to become to attract a 10K or more income to you each month? Write that down, please. Okay. You don't do it right at this second, but I definitely want you to write it down because the assessment is for you, right? Like if you're not writing this down, I'm not assessing me. I mean, well, I assess me on a regular basis, but I'm giving you the things that you need to assess you, right? So let's move on to number three. Okay, this is the final part of our assessment. And this one says, I want you to make a list of the actions that you need to take to start earning $10,000 a month. Okay, I need you to make a list. And when we start talking about things like, oh, I need to know who I'm talking to, I've given you training and access on all of that in the first 41 days. Okay, if you say, oh, but I need to learn how to, how do I come up with headlines or things to talk about? Well, I've gone on numerous trainings over the past 41 days on how to use Chat GPT to help you come up with hooks for your videos, hooks for your posts. Come up with 30 days worth of content, come up with 7 days worth of content, come up with video scripts, come up with faceless types of hooks, right? I've literally given you everything in these first 41 days that will allow you, that gives you the actions, that teaches you the actions. Now, what you need to do at this point is you need to just write down what you need to do. Okay, because it's no longer a function of you don't know what to do. You know exactly what to do, right? So what you need to do is you need to write down that which you need to do, and then you need to do it. Yeah, that's the key right there. Not only write it down, but then you need to do it. Okay. Because what this is doing, guys, what we're building up with this whole thing is your strategy, right? We're getting into strategy. I've given you tactics, I've given you how to create content. I've given you that. And in digital marketing, that's really the bulk of it all, is being able to create the content. So I've shown you how you can do that without, much hair being, pulled out of your head as possible. Okay. So you know how to do that. That is not even That shouldn't even be an issue. And if it is, then I'm going to encourage you to, scroll the previous 41 video headlines and titles and find the ones where I'm giving you the juice on creating content, because I have most definitely thrown all of that at you numerous times, okay, in plenty of videos, okay, over this course so far. So strategically, you've got to know where you are before you can make a move on where you're going. It's kind of like thinking like a CEO, right? A CEO has to look at first quarter, right? Let's say the first quarter is over, which it is, January, February, March. Look at the first quarter and say, okay, did we meet our goals? Did we, meet our revenue goals? Did we meet our profit goals? Did we have our sales? Did we meet our sales goals, right? Did we meet our hiring goals or our production, our manufacturing goals, right? Did we meet our marketing targets, right? You got to look at all of the things that are on the table that you've measured up to this point. You've got to look at that so you know where you are. You have a good picture. Then you can say, all right, here are the changes that we need to make. We want to increase this by 10%, or we didn't do so well with this. So let's go ahead and let's, re-engage the target at this particular level for second quarter. Okay. But let's do it aggressively and let's have everybody on target, on focus to make sure this happens this quarter, right? After you know where you are, you make a proper assessment, then you can put your projections into play, right? The $10,000 a month is the projection. That is the desired projection goal, right? For, let's say, this month, okay, or the next quarter. But if you don't assess what you've done over the past 40 days, then all you're doing is just creating a lot of havoc and chaos in your own business, because as a CEO, you will not be the CEO that you need to be in order to get you closer to 10,000 a month. Right? Like you would be self-sabotaging your own self, because these are the things that you need to do, but then you're choosing not to do them, or you're choosing to procrastinate on not doing them, or you're choosing to make believe that some kind of way you can do this without having to be the leader. Right. And you have to lead, you just have to lead yourself first and then others. And especially in a business like this, right? Because you got to lead by creating content. You got to lead by creating structure and vision for where you're going. You've got to lead by letting your target market know that you are the person that is here to help and serve them. You've got to lead and demonstrate that type of leadership. You cannot just say, this is what you're going to do. Okay. So, I want you to take this assessment seriously, because 95% of what we do is really mindset. Either you believe you can do something or you don't really believe you can do something. In other words, either you have confidence, i.e. faith, that you can do something or something will materialize for you, or you don't, right? It's fear and faith cannot operate in the same space. And so either you believe in yourself or you do not. Either you're going to do the work or you will not. Either you will become the person that can earn 10K or more per month, or you will not. And you could very well have access to all this stuff I'm giving you and still not make 10,000 a month. You know why? Well, it's not because I'm not giving it to you, and it's not because it's not possible. We know that all things are possible, don't we? Okay, so if it's not happening, you're in your own way. That's usually what it boils down to. You are in your own way, hunty. You are in your own way. And it's time for you to get out of your own way, stop self-sabotaging, and allow yourself the opportunity to grow, opportunity to win, and the opportunity to be the person that you need to be so that you can start making 10K or more per month. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that little assessment here on today. My son was going to be my co-host today. He said, this is going to be less than 15 minutes. And I was like, yep, we should be right around 15 minutes. And look at this, we're about 14 minutes and 35 seconds. All right. So even though he chose not to co-host with me today, maybe he will another time. But I was able to keep this thing down under 14 or under 15 minutes. All right. Right around that time. All right. So before we get out of here and you get on the ball with your assessment and answering your questions for yourself to move forward, I want to make sure that you've got your hands on the free digital marketing blueprint. Okay. If you look in the description right underneath this video here on YouTube, or if you check it out, if you're watching this on Facebook, then you will find in the description, not in the description, in the comments, you'll find in the comments on Facebook the links to the free digital marketing blueprint as well. And I want you to click on that link. And if you have not put your name in that box, do that and then watch the video on the next page. Okay. Watch the video on the next page. And this is really going to show you how you can have an automated business that you can work with just 2 hours per day. And we're going to teach you strategically and tactically how you can start earning $900 per day. And will that happen overnight? No. But if you made $900 this month, would that be fantastic? Absolutely. What if you learned how to then start making $900 a week? Well, wouldn't that be better? Absolutely. Like, who couldn't use an extra $3,600 for the month? Now, what if you did $900 twice a week, right? Okay, now we're $1,800 a week, right? That's $3,600 every 2 weeks. That's what, $7,200 for the month? You guys get what I'm saying? That's 8 sales. So what I'm getting at is, you don't have to work harder to make more money. What you do is you get going, you figure out what works, and then you just multiply that through leverage. You don't work harder, you multiply it through leverage. That's how you get wealthy. You don't you don't go and get another job to then give more time. Like, you're only able to work 24 hours in a day. Even if you stayed up all night, you could only work 24 hours. That's all we got. So you're capped. You're capped at what you could physically do. Even if you tried to work 2 days straight, you could still only work 48 hours. And you doing that yourself, you would literally burn yourself out and to the ground. And what I am teaching you, and hopefully, getting into your thick skull, hopefully I'm getting into your thick skull, that it's not about working harder, it's about working with leverage. So you follow the blueprint on what it takes to make a $900 sale, period. And then you do that thing to the tune of once a day. And with that, yep, you're going to need some automation working. Yep, you're going to need some emails going out on your behalf. Yep, you're going to need some content going out on your behalf. Yep, you're going to need maybe some Zooms and things like that you don't have to do. You don't have to do, because I said it's leveraged, right? But you plug people into our digital growth community, and what do you instantly have? You instantly have the leverage. Because why? Because if you are a baseball mom like me, where your son is on 2 teams, a rec team, a travel team, a flag football team, and he has to go to the gym twice a week with his personal trainer, uh, yeah, it's not a lot of time to do no Zooms all day, every day. So I like to be able to send an email to say, hey, there's a Zoom happening on this day at this time. Be yourself in the place, okay? And then send an email after and say, hey, what'd you love about it, right? And go here to get started. That's what I love to do, all right? And so you're going to learn all about how to do that when you decide to join me inside the Legacy Builders program. But it all starts with you getting your hands on that digital marketing blueprint, and that is absolutely free. So go ahead, click on the link in the description or in the comments over on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me here on day number 42. We went through the assessment. Please assess yourself. Get ready, because tomorrow is day number 43. And we're going to keep this train moving. Okay. We got to move, move, move. We're almost to the halfway mark. We got a little bit to go. All right. So if you've made it this far, congratulations. I celebrate you. If you need to catch up, take some time over the next couple of days to get yourself from video 1 up to today, video 42, and be ready to rock and roll with me for the second half of our 90-day challenge. All right, guys. So see you tomorrow. Day number 43 is on the way. Later.